Hey everyone, this is BremSter, and today I'm recording Death on the Nabner by Jeremy Dover for the Cagey Constraints Puzzle Pack. Now, those of you who are aware of what happens in the community may be aware this is getting into the puzzles that were submitted a lot later in the creation process of the pack. So when in the about 12 months after we started working on the pack, I tried to get some momentum happening with getting testing happening again so I could get everything rolling. And a few people then jumped in and said, oh, I've got a puzzle that might be good for the pack. So we're now getting into that stage. So I have not tested any of these puzzles. So I'm really getting into the weeds on these ones. And yeah, we'll find out together. So let's have a look at Death on the Nabner by Jeremy Dover. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and digits may not repeat within cages, which doesn't look relevant for this puzzle, but I'm keeping the rules consistent. And on gold lines, no two digits on a gold line can be consecutive regardless of their position on the line. So, for example, on this long line here, those two digits could not be consecutive. Those two digits could not be consecutive. Those two digits could not be consecutive. You may not have any consecutiveness anywhere on the line. They're basically anti-Renban, because Nabner is Renban backwards. Some people call them anti-Renban. I think it was Zeta who termed Nabner. I'm not sure. But that's how this puzzle works. Now, you may see this before in the playlist before I release other puzzles, which are ones which I record, which I were released or published way earlier in the pack. I'm releasing these puzzles, or I will be hopefully releasing these videos in order of difficulty, so starting easier and getting harder, rather than the order I've recorded them or the order they were created. So if afterwards you see me talking about a puzzle that has come out that I recorded that I've been sitting on for 18 months, don't worry about that. The video order release is not anything, but for my recording, I'm definitely into the last few puzzles now, which is cool. Let's have a look at this one. So restart the puzzle, restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Okay, so how do we do a 9 cage with no consecutive digits? I think this has to be 1, 3... No, hang on. Yeah, 1, 3, 5. Yeah, I think this has to be 1, 3, 5, because how can you make a 9 cage? If I don't use a 1, it's 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4 are all consecutive, because none of these digits can be consecutive with each other. 2, 3, 4, there is consecutiveness there, so that doesn't work. So there is definitely a 1. If I do 1, 2, then it's 1 and 2 are consecutive, so I can't do that. So it's 1, 3, because if I do 1, 4, if I skip 1 and I can't use a 2. If I skip 1, 3, I then the next minimum is 1, 4, 6, which is 11. So that doesn't work. So it has to be 1, 3, which is 4. I then need another 5. This is 1, 3, 5. This is absolutely 1, 3, 5. Now this can't be consecutive with 1, 3, 5 or 1, 3, 5, because digits couldn't repeat on Nabner lines anyway. But in this puzzle, it's not relevant because all the lines see each other. But so this can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So this is 7, 8, 9. Now, what about this 10 cage? If I don't do a 1, the minimum would be 2, 3, 4. I'd have to increase one of those digits by 1, and it'd be 2, 3, 5. So, yeah, basically, if I didn't include a 1, I'd have 2. The next minimum digit I'd have would be 4, because I couldn't use 3. The next minimum digit I'd have would be 6, and 2, 4, 6 is 12. So there must be a 1 in this cage. Now, I can't now use a 2. If I jump to 4, I'd end up with 1 jumping to... So if I don't include a 3, I'd jump to 4. I'd have 1, 4. I then couldn't use a 5, so it'd be 1, 4, 6, which is 11. So there must be a 3. And with 1 and 3 in this cage, that's 4. So this is 1, 3, 6 is basically what I'm learning here. Yeah, this has to be 1, 3, 6, because if I don't use... It's either 1, 3, 6 or 1, 4, 6 to avoid... Yeah, this is 1, 3, 6. So now... There's a couple of things I can do. First of all, this can't be consecutive with... It can't be 1, it can't be 2, it can't be 3, it can't be 4, it can't be 5, it can't be 6, it can't be 7. This is 8 or 9. But along the top here, this is a 1, 3, 5, 6 quadruple. The 5 must be here, so there's no 5 here. The 6 must be here, so there's no 6 here. Okay, now I haven't put a 2 in this top row. So what haven't I put in this top row? I've got, there's no, 2 and 4 must be up here, basically. Okay, but 5 and 6 are placed in the top row. So this could never have been 5, 6 anyway. Now, this 12 cage doesn't have that restriction, but there's weird stuff going on here for certain. Like if I don't put a 2 on this line, I think I'm broken, because then I would hit... So if I don't put a 2 on this line, I could put a 4. So let's say there's no 2 on this line. Oh, actually, no. No, that doesn't work, because I think I've got the same over here. Ooh, actually, this is... Let's look at this 11 cage. No, the 11 cage isn't as powerful, because 2, I then skip to 4. If I don't include... No, actually, no, let's look at this. If I don't use a 1... If I don't use a 1 in this cage... Actually, these boxes may have a lot going on. I don't know where to look. But, okay, let's look at an 11 cage. If I don't use a 1 and I go to 2, the next digit I could use would be 4. The next digit I could use would be 6. And, right, so there is a 1 in an 11 cage. So there's a 1 in this 11 cage, which means there's no 1 there. Now, if I skip 2, I go 3. And then I've got option. So I skip 2, I go 3. But I could go 1, 4, 6 here. So I'm either 1, 3, and then I'm at 4 and I'm into the 7, or 1, 4, 6. So these are 1, 3, 4, sorry, 1, 3, 6, sorry, 1, 3, 7, or 1, 4, 6. So these are 1, 3, 7, or 1, 4, 6. There's no other way of doing it. What about... So this is the same. This is 1, 3, 7, or 1, 4, 6, but there is a 1 in it. So there's no 1 there because of the 1 that must be in here. But this has an extended jump. But, okay, so this can't be 1, 6. It could be 2, 5, or 3, 4, because these aren't consecutive. But if this is 3, so that gives me a virtual 3, 4 pair, because there must be a 3 or a 4 in here. Oh, this is weird. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. There is a... Okay, actually, I do know what I'm doing. I completely know what I'm doing. There is a 1 and a 3 in here, and there's a 1 and a 3 in here. So I can't put 1 or 3 in any of those, and 1 and 3 is in the 12 cage. And 1 and 3 sums to 4. So this is 1, 3, 8 to sum to 12. So this is 1, 3, 8. Okay. Whichever side of this row gets the 9 means the 8 couldn't go there. Whichever side gets the 2 means that the 1 couldn't go there, or the 3. So whichever side gets the 2 on this line has the 8 next to it. Does that help me? So how do I make the 11 now? I could use 2, 9. I can't use 8, 3. I could use 4, 7. I can't use 5, 6. These are the only possibilities. So this can't be... Wait a minute. So this is 2, 9 or 4, 7. But if this was 4, 7, this would be broken, wouldn't it? Because this is either 3, 7 or 4, 1, 3, 7 or 1, 4, 6. So this can't be 4, 7. It could be 2, 9. It can't be 8, 3. It can't be 4, 7 without breaking that. And it can't be 5, 6 without breaking the Nabner. This is 2 and 9. That's kind of cool. So these contain 4, 5, 6, and 7. Well, we know the 6 is down here. Oh, this is a 5, 6 pair. So this is a 4, 7 pair. That's cool. Now, Still don't know what's going on. I get the feeling this puzzle would be very, very easy if I was to just click on the 17 cage, open the killer calculator. I don't currently have it open, you'd have to trust me on that, and then remove every option that has consecutive digits in it. I get the feeling that would make this puzzle very, very, well, much easier. And if you choose to solve that way, go for it. That's all good. I'm choosing not to do that yet. So 17 cage. I can't see what it must have in it, though. I'm a little lost here. So one is in here, one is in here. So one is in one of these three, but one isn't here. One is in this 12 cage because of Sudoku. The one looking across here and this one looking down and this one looking up. One is in one of those. So the 12 cage, we know it can't be 1, 2, 9 because 1 and 2 can't be in the cage. But there's a lot of other options because I need 2 digits that sum to 11. There's 11s all over this place. I could use 2, 9. I could use 3, 8. But there's 4 digits on a... When there's 4 digits on a Nabner, it becomes a little restricted. It's not a lot restricted, though. Because all you need... Like, 5-cell long Nabner line is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. It just must be. And there's... I think the minute there's an even digit on a 4-cell Nabner... So if you put 2 on it, it doesn't quite force it. But if you put 2 on it, it becomes, like if you skip 1 or 9 on a 4-cell Nabner, it becomes quite restricted, but not completely. There's always a little bit of freedom on a 4-cell Nabner. Because once you drop out the 1 and the 3, you've then constricted the other 3 cells down to only 6 digits. So what you're going to force yourself to be like 4, 6, and then you've got 8 or 9 at the end. And you've got a little bit of freedom, but not a lot. And if you jump to 5, then it's literally 5, 7, 9. So somewhere in the middle, you've got like 1 cell of wiggle room. So it's possible with here I could figure something out. Like if this is the 8, as I said, wherever the 2 goes, the 8 goes with it. So if the 2 and the 8 are together, actually, that could be interesting because wherever the 2 goes, the 8 goes with it. So if you put 2 and 8 on a line, right, that's the trick. That is the trick. Because where this is, I can't put 2 with the 1 or the 3. So wherever the 2 goes in row 3, it goes with the 8 on the line. Now, that would knock out 7 and 9 and 1 and 3 from the line. So the other digits will have to be, so I'm going to use a cell here to mark up all the possibilities, okay? So let's say I put 2 on the line. That will knock out 1, 2, and 3, and 8 would have to go with it, so it would knock out 7, 8, 9. So the only other options are 4, 5, 6, and I need to get 2 digits from there. So the line is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. So whichever line has the 2 on it is 2, 4, 6, 8, and we know 6 is up here. So this is 2, 4, 6, and that's the 8. That's incredibly clever. So there is an 8 in one of those 2. This is not the 8. No, actually, I don't know that at all. I do not know that at all. This is 2, 4, 6, 8. This is 5, 7, 9. Actually, I did get there, but I got it the wrong way. But this is 1, 3, this is 5, 7, 9, which makes that the 8, which does take 8 out of there and puts 8 in there. The way I got there was, 8 now has to be in one of those 2, which makes that an 8, which was completely wrong. But if I actually completed row 3 first, I could have got there. Now, this is 5, 7, 9. So this is 2 and 4. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7, 8. Because these are 7, 8, and that is the 9. Of course, the 4, 7 pair gave me that. Okay, so these are 7, 8. That is cool. Tricky to spot, but cool. Now, what can I do with that? That has to do something. It takes 8 out of this 19 cage. If I don't use 8, say I don't use a 9 in this 19 cage now. The maximum would be 7, 5, 3, which is only 15. Because if I didn't use a 9, 7 going down, I would then not be able to use a 6, so it'd be 5, and then not be able to use a 4. So it'd be 7, 5, 3, which is only 15. So there must be a 9 in this 19 cage. But, and then 2 digits that sum to 10. So this is marking the cage. There is a 9 and 2 digits that sum to 10. It's not 1928. It could be 37 or 46. But there is now an, hang on, okay, there's a 9 in here. Okay, so there is a 9 in this 19 cage. But now 8 is not in any of those cells. So there's an 8 in one of those two, which puts 8 down here. There's no 9 here because there must be a 9 in this cage. Oh, this can't, because of that, this can't be 137 anymore. This is 146. Because if this is 137, that cell is broken. So the 37 come out of here. This is 146. That's cool. So this now can't be 1, can't be 2, can't be 3, can't be 4, can't be 5, can't be 6, can't be 7. This is an 8 or a 9, and the 9 looks down, making that the 8, which puts 8 in one of those 3. This is amazing. Oh, the 146 looks up, making that the 3 and that the 1. I could have done the 3, 1 because there had to be a 1 in the 11 cage. And these are now known. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 5 and 7, which means there's no 6 on this line. I really do get the feeling if I was using the killer calculator, this would be easier. Could I put the 9 here and then in here? I don't see why not. That would put 9 and 7 in this cage. 9 and 7 is 16, and then I'd need another 3. And I can't do that. 9 must be in here, because I've either got a 3 in here, because this must be either 1, 3, 7. Oh, now this 4, 6 means this isn't 1, 4, 6. Because it's 1 and 2 cells that sum to 10. This is not 146. This is 137. So that takes 3, 4 out of here. This is 2, 5. That's the trick. The 2, 5 looks up taking 5 out of there, but I don't think that's enough. Well, actually, that's a 1. No, it's not. But there's no 4 in this column. So 4 is down here with 8. But these, I'm going to mark this quad. 4, 6, 8, 9. And we know there's no 8 in there. So if this is 4, 6, that would be 9. But I think that's a problem, isn't it? Actually, it's not. I originally was saying that would be a problem. Okay, sorry about the interruption there, but household emergencies happen. Yeah, okay, so I was looking at this 19 cage. So, now, so if this is 4, 6, this is a 9. Oh, this is 4, 6, 9. If this is 4, 6, this is 9. If this is 4, 9, then I'm at 11. Hang on, if this is 4, 9, I'm at 13 and I need a 6. And if this is at 6, 9, then I'm at 15 and I need a 4. This is a 4, 6, 9 triple, which means that is a 2 and that is a 4. That's cool. Oh, there's a 4 down here, so that's not a 4. The 4 is definitely in here and there's no 4 here. Okay, so that means this is a quadruple, which is 1, 3, 5, and 7. But I think there's a restriction, 1, 3, 5, 7, But I can't put 3 on this line because there's a 4 up here. So there's no 3. Same with 5. I can't put 5 on the line. And there's a 6 on the line, so I can't put a 7. That's a 1. So I can take 1 out of all of those. And this is a 3, 5, 7 triple. Okay. So there's an 8 here. There's a 4 here. So this is now quite restricted. Man, if I was using the killer calculator, so that 1 takes 1 out of there. I reckon this, so if I don't put, what happens if I don't put a 2 on that line? So if I don't put a 2 on this line, I could use a 3, and I'm aware this is me just trying to avoid using the calculator by marking in my head. I couldn't use a 4, I could use a 5, I couldn't use a 6, I couldn't use a 7, so it'd be 3, 5, 8 as a minimum. And 3, 5, 8 is way above 15, because 5 and 14, because 3, 5, that's 16. So if I don't use a 2, there is a 2 in, oh, there was a 2 in here by Sudoku. So that is just dumb. Okay, I could have just jumped straight to that. So there is a 2. I now need 2 digits that sum to 12. I could use 9, 3. I can't use 8, 4. I could use 7, 5. Ah. If it's 7, 5, that's the 2. This is a 7, 5, which give me a 7, 5 pair in the row. I don't know. I don't know. Is it this 17 cage now that I've ruled out 1, 3, and 7? Oh, with the killer calculator, this would be so easy, I think. Okay. Is there a digit another digit I have to place? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, there's no forced digit down here. And it's 2 with either, no, hang on, I need another 12. 9, 3 or 7, 5. Oh, hang on, it can't be 9, 3 because I can't put 3. This is 2, 5, 7 because if it was 2, 9, 3, the 2 and the 3 would be consecutive. This is 2, 5, 7, which means that's the 3, that's the 7, that's the 5, taking 5 out of there and 7 out of both of those. The 7 looks up making that the 9 and that the 7. The 9 takes 9 out of there. This becomes 6, 8, which takes 6 out of there and makes that a 6. This is a 4, 9. Okay. Now these are known. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 8, and 9. 4, 8, 9. This is a 1, 3 pair. So that's a 6. That's not a 6. I already knew 5 was over there. This is absolutely fascinating. The 3 takes 3 out of there. So the 12 cage, there's no 2 in it. So it's 1, if it's 1, 3, so if there's no 3, if there's no 2 in it, if there's no 3 in it, it's 1, 4, 6, it'd be 1, 4, 7. Is there a problem with 1, 4, 7? If it's 1, 4, 7, that's 9. If there's a 3 in it, it's 1, 3, 8. And this would be a 3. Well, there's no 8 here. That's not really helping me much. It's going to be this 17 cage. So there's no 1 in it. If I don't use a 2, let's not use a 2. Minimum would be 4. I then couldn't use 5 or 6. So it'd be 4, 7, and then I couldn't use 8. It'd be 4, 7, 9, and I'm way above 17. So there must be a 2 in here. Then I need 2 digits summing to 50. Right, so let me run through that again in my head because I need to prove it to myself. If I don't use a 2, I can't use a 3, I could use a 4. Remember, I'm only working up because I'm not using the 2. I then couldn't use a 5 or a 6 because if I used a 4 and a 6, that'd be broken. I then couldn't use a 7. I have to use a 2 because I couldn't use a 6 or a 7. And then before 8, 9, and that's consecutiveness, I must use a 2. I then need 2 digits that sum to 15, and I can't use 7, 8. So this is 2, 6, 9. There you go, which makes that the 4 and takes 4 out of those. The 2, 6, 9 means that these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But this isn't that's the 5, that's the 8. There you go. That did help. I just had to look at it the right way. This is tricky. It's fun tricky, but it's tricky. Now this can't be 1, 6 or 2, 5 anymore. This is 3, 4. And these, I'm going to do this quad again. 1, can't be 2, can't be 3, can't be 4, 5, can't be 6, 7, 8. 1, 5, 7, 8. Now we know 1 is not in here. So if this is 1, 5, this is 6, and that doesn't work. I can't put 1, 5 in here. So if this was 1, 5 in here, remember the 1 has to be in here because the 1 is down here. If I put 1 and 5 in here, that's 6, and this would have to be 6, and 1 and 5 doesn't. 1, 5, 6 doesn't work for the Nabner. So there's no 5 in here. So 5 is over here, which means that's 3. This is 1, this is 5. The 3 makes that 1 and that 3, which makes that 1 and that 3. That's so weird. If this is 1, 7, this is 4. And if this is 1, 8, this is 3. But there must, this is a 1, 7, 8. Oh, the 9 takes 9 out of there. So these are, where's 5 in this column? It has to be down here. Is that right? There's no 5. Right, 5 and 5 puts 5 down here, but I can't put 5 here because I couldn't get this total to work. So 5 is down here. So 5 isn't in any of those. So 5 has to be one of those 3. That's the 5, and there's no 5 there. Okay, now, and that's because of the 5, 7 pair here. Now, if this is 5, this is 3, which means this is 1, 8. That's 7. This would be 1, 4, 6. Sorry, this is tricky. It's fun, but tricky. This 5 made this 6 and this 5. I have no idea how long ago that happened. These are 2, 3, 6, no, 2, 3, 7, and 9. And I can't see anything to do with that. That feels terrible. Oh. Where's 6 in this row? It has to be in one of those. So there's no 6 in any of these. So if this is 1, 4, 6, it's 1, 4, 6. So this could never be a 4. But I have a 3, 4 virtual pair. But I could put 4 here if that's a 7. Ah, oh, this is so weird. So what can that cell be? Because I've got 1, 7, 8, and 9. So I'm from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if this is 2... Well, this can't be 3 or 4, because it would be consecutive with the other 3 or 4. So it's from 2, 5, 6. No, I'm not seeing it. 3. Wait a minute. Where's 3 in this column now? 3 can't be up there. You're right. 3, 3, 3. Right. Sorry, that 3 did it. This isn't 3, 7. This isn't 1, 3, 7. I can take 3 and 7. I can take 3 out of those, which means I can take 7 out of all of them. That's the 4. That's the 1. That's the 6. That's the trick. That's the 3. I can take 3 out of here. I'm going to actually remove all of that. The 3 means that's not 2, but the 3 here means these have to sum to 9, which means they're 1, 8, which takes the 8 out of here. This is 5, 7. The 1, 8 makes that 7 and that 8. 1, 8 doesn't actually resolve. Oh, the 6 does, though. That's the 5. So that's the 7 and that's the 5. This is so cool. This is the 2. This is the 7. There's no 4 here. This is such a cool puzzle. The 6 looks up taking 6 out of there. It also takes 6 out of there. But the 4 makes that the 2, which makes that the 9, taking 9 out of there, and there's no 2 in either of those. This is 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, this is 2, 4, 6, and it's 2 because of the 4, 6. So this is 6, this is 4, which makes this 2 and this 6. These little lines are going to resolve, like 4 can't go next to 5. That's going to do something, but I haven't got it yet. These are 7, 8, 9. There's no 7 there, there's no 8 there, there's no 7 there. So that's the 7. So what am I missing from this row? I've got to put a 1 in one of those. So this is the 1. This is 4, 8, 9, and it can't be 4. So this is an 8, 9 pair, making that the 4, making that the 9, making that the 8. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 and 4. Okay. So neither of these can be 3, because 3 would be consecutive with 2 or 4. So 3 is in, oh, that's cool. 3 is in one of those two, making that the 4, that the 3. 4 can't be consecutive with 5. That's the 7, that's the 5. The 5 looks across, making that the 2 and that the 5. 5 can't be consecutive with 6, so that's the 8 and that's the 6. The 4 looks across, making that the 9 and that the 4. That takes 9 out of those. Actually, the 8 makes this the 1 and this the 8, which makes this the 6 and this the 1. I can take 2 out of those, so that's a 7, 9 pair. So I can take 7 out of there, and that's a 2, 3 pair. That is stunning resolution. The 8 looks down, making that the 9, which makes that the 8 and that the 9. 3 and 6 go in, and I'll use the 6 to make that the 3, that the 6. The 3 looks up, making that the 2 and that the 3. The 2 looks down, making that the 4 and that the 2. The 4 looks up, making that the 7 and that the 4. The 7 looks down, making that the 9 and that the 7. And that's the solution. Yeah, I had to take a break. That was really, really cool. Death on the Nabner by Jeremy Dover. One of the more interesting Nabner puzzles with a trick I've seen in a while. I actually set one with full deck and missing a few cards, which was a Killer Nabner, I think. We actually submitted that one to CTC and it never went anywhere. Oh well, what a shame. But that's not relevant to this pack. We didn't put it in the pack. We actually released that one publicly. This was very, very cool. Thank you, Jeremy Dover. I should stop talking about my own puzzles. Talk about the pack puzzles. Very, very cool, Jeremy Dover. Sorry, I just go off on a tangent sometimes. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that puzzle. That was great. Absolutely great. I am blessed with the puzzles that people put into the packs that I try and curate, and I'm just terrible at getting them out. I'm going to try and do better this year. I'm going to try and get another pack done through the channel this year if I can get people interested. Thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, good luck with your solving.